Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to NLC India Limited's Q3 FY22 post-results conference call hosted by ICICI Securities Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rahul Modi from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Stephen. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of ICICI Securities, we welcome you to the Q3 FY22 result conference call of NLC India Limited. We would like to thank the management for giving ICICI Securities the opportunity to host this call. We have with us from the management Mr. Rakesh Kumar, Chairman and Managing Director, with the other functional directors and senior management of the company. I would like to hand over the call to Mr. Kumar for the opening remarks, post which we can have a Q&A session. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Rahul ji, for hosting this investor call, and I would like to share this as an opportunity to interact with NLCI's stakeholders and also reply to their queries on the financial results for the quarter and 9 months ended 31st December 2021. I am Rakesh Kumar, CMD NLC India Limited, along with Shri Shaji John, Director Power, and Shri Jayakumar Srinivasan, Director Finance, and along with the senior officials of NLCI. I welcome you all for this conference call, and I would like to mention some of the performance highlights of NLCI for the 9 months period ended 31st December 2021. Power generation on standalone basis for the period is 18,485 million units as against 13,743 million units in the corresponding period of the previous year, registering a growth of 34.51%. Consolidated power generation for the period is 21,740 million units as against 17,604 million units in the corresponding period of the previous year, registering a growth of 23.49%. The company has achieved thermal PLF of 70.20% as against the national average of 57.16%. Consolidated total income of the group during the period is rupees 9,381 crore as against rupees 8,198 crore in the corresponding period of the previous year, registering a growth of 14.43%. Consolidated profit after tax for the period is rupees 784 crore as against rupees 589 crore in the corresponding period of the previous year, with a growth of 33.28%. Standalone total income of the company for the period is 7,887 crore as against rupees 6,111 crore in the corresponding period of the previous year, registering a growth of 29.06%. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization before exceptional items for the period is rupees 3,344 crores as against rupees 2,397 crore in the corresponding period of the previous year, registering a growth of 39.51%. Standalone profit after tax for the period is rupees 797 crore as against rupees 387 crore in the corresponding period of the previous year, registering a growth of 105.96%. With this, I look forward for the interactions with the stakeholders.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Rahul Modi from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
So just thought of taking the first question. Sir, can you elaborate more on Sir, more on a structural question in terms of, our targets in the renewable space. What are the activities that we are looking forward to, and what is our targets that we are looking at in terms of both solar and wind going forward, and the upcoming opportunity size for us in that?
Yeah, sure. So in the renewable segment, we have achieved an installed capacity of 1,421 megawatt of renewable projects, in which 51 megawatt is wind and balance is solar. Most of it is in Tamil Nadu, except for 20 megawatt solar plant in Andaman. And we want to ramp up this capacity. Recently, we have got 150 megawatt hybrid project and 510 megawatt of solar from SECI and IREDA bids. And we are targeting more of such tenders. We want to ramp up our capacity in solar to the extent of 4,000 megawatt plus. Yeah, any specific question on that, I will come.
So that will be all. So just one number I would need in terms of, sir, for the 9 months, of what has been our EBITDA and revenue from the renewable segment, and what is the level of gross block and the debt levels for the renewable capacity? Thank you.
Yeah, EBITDA from the renewable is 552.35 crore, and we have got profit to the extent of 185.86 crore from renewable projects.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The next question is from the line of Anshuman Ashit from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So just continuing on the projects, can you please update us on the status of the Ghatampur project and the Talabira mines as well?
Yeah, sure. So our Ghatampur project, which started with the GI sanction in 2016 with an estimated cost of 17,237.80 crore, up till now, up to December, we have spent more than 12,700 crore on the capex front, and we have achieved physical progress of more than 77%, and financial progress is more than 75%. So although we are facing some issues on GA3 package because of the financial difficulties being faced by the GA3 package contractor, however, we are catching up. We are trying to resolve the issues, and but at the same time, this has resulted in some delay. So, but our commissioning activity for the first unit is on, and the expected commissioning for the first unit is October 2022, and we are targeting second and third unit 4 months thereafter each unit.
Okay, sir. And so the Talabira project?
Yeah, Talabira project is already commissioned, and against the target of 4 million ton this year, we have already achieved more than 5 million ton by 31st December. Coal mines or? Coal mines. Coal mines, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and we are going to target our Talabira mines for much more production in the next year.
Okay. So in our presentation, we have mentioned quite a few projects through our Vision 2025. So could you please give us some clarity on what can be our capacity by the end of 25? Because we have mentioned about 15 gigawatt of addition. But just in the next slide, the growth plan over 3 years is 2.6 gigawatt. So could you please give us some clarity on that?
Yeah. Actually, we had we had planned in our corporate plan the thermal capacity addition by way of 2,400 megawatt Talabira pithead power plant in the first phase, which is followed by another 800 megawatt by another unit, and 1980 megawatt Ghatampur, and we also envisaged TS2 second expansion phase 1 and phase 2 1320 each. However, this TS2 second expansion phase 1 phase 2 may not come up because we are facing some difficulties in the financial viability of the project. But at the same time, we have our plans for whatever we envisage for the solar and renewable projects to the extent of 2,830 megawatts, which we want to ramp up beyond 4,000 megawatts. And power assets acquisition, which we planned for 3,000 megawatts, so far we have not made much progress. Depending upon the opportunity in the time to come, we will take a call. And at the same time, the Rajasthan projects, 2 mines and 2 small power plants of 250 megawatt each, those are on hold, and already we have concluded the contract with Reliance, and we are going to arbitration for settling the claim.
So how much have we spent on those projects?
This project in Rajasthan, we have spent to the extent of 288 crore Bitnock, and BTPS is 102.92. The total expenditure incurred so far is 390.92 crore.
Okay. And sir, so with the projects in RE space that we have in hand, so we can reach 4 gigawatt by FY25, is it?
Yeah. With the pace with which we are going, we are hopeful that we will be able to win over the tenders, and the cumulative capacity we will reach 4,000 plus.
Okay. Thank you, sir, on that. Sir, the next question is on the receivables front. So could you please give us the number, the receivables at the end of 9 months FY22?
Yeah, sure. So the total receivable as on 31st December 2021 is 4,580.82 crore, as against last year corresponding figure is 8,746.17 crore. So we have been able to reduce our dues to the extent of 4,165.34 crore.
Okay. And sir, finally, the regulated equity at the end of 9 months before I come back in the queue.
Yeah, sure. The regulated equity for mines is 2,830.78 crores, and thermal is 3,762.41 crores, and profit which is from the regulated equity of mines is 416.53 crores, and thermal is 553.61 crores. Total regulated equity is 6,593.19 crores, and for return is 970.14 crores for the 9 months. And if we see the reconciliation, the thermal capacity charges loss is under recovery is 445.75 crore. There is no under recovery on mine side, and net income from regulated business is 524.39 crores. and there are some adjustments which are there. Interest on excess equity is 113.42 crores, and interest on working capital and other income, and there are other reasons which is totaling up to 2,111.31 crores.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Apurva Bahadur from Investec. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, hello, Bahadur ji. Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Sir, wanted to know your thoughts if there has been any progress on the monetization plan. I think which we discussed a couple of quarters ago, and the which government had also highlighted in the pipeline, national monetization pipeline.
Yeah, sure. I will just request that the finance to throw more light on this aspect.
Yeah. As regards monetization plan, broadly in the domain of the coal ministry, there were two types of projects that were identified. One is on the coal mining side, and what was regarded as monetization was in terms of the expenditure that has been privatized, in the sense that wherever we have outsourced the mining through the MDO route and the expenditure on that side. But going ahead, for the integrated entity like NLC, which is into mining as well as power plant, having into the power business, additionally, based on the vision of the government, the renewable as well as hydro assets were identified for monetization. So, since we are into renewable, the solar predominantly, so we have worked on the solar this thing. We propose to monetize this, subject to the feasibility, and we have done all the preparatory works in that connections. We are also envisaging, subject to government approval, a solar arm through which the monetization, either in the form of a stake sale or in terms of InvIT. So the necessary advisory advice is being taken, and we are working on that. So soon we will be taking an in-principle approval once the permission is coming from the government.
Okay. So by when can that be expected, the permission?
It's just a guesstimate that it should be in the next 2 months. The permission should be in place. We are expecting that.
Fair enough. That's very useful. So secondly, on our clean energy plans as well, I think as of now our focus has been largely towards renewable capacity addition. Wanted to know if there are any plans on going into other clean energy derivatives as well, say like power storage or green hydrogen or anything of that sort. If you could throw some light over there, it will be very useful.
So far, we have not explored on power storage, but of course we have shown some interest in hydrogen, grey hydrogen and green hydrogen. But no firmed up plans and complete discussions have taken place that we can share any results or any plan on the business. In the meantime, our new director PNP has joined, Mr. Mohan Reddy. He has joined the conference call.
Good afternoon to all of you, and myself Mohan Reddy. So mining and thermal background, joined as Director Planning and Project.
So we are hopeful that with this joining, the impetus on the addition on more projects and development on ongoing projects will take place.
Okay, right. Thank you, sir. I'll get back in the queue.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The next question is a follow-up from the line of Anshuman Ashit from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, once again for the opportunity. Sir, could you please tell us how much late payment surcharge have we booked for 9 months FY22?
Yeah.
One second. One second. Get the figure before me. The surcharge income, that is for the late payment surcharge which we bill to the beneficiary of power for the 9 months 21-22 is 296 crores. Now, obviously, there is a trade-off between your surcharge income as well as the collection efficiency. So, since the collection efficiency, the trend of collection has been fairly robust in the last 1.5 years. So, the kind of revenue from in terms of surcharge will be on the reduction. That will the other part is that your reliance on borrowed money will also be less to that extent. So it's a trade-off. So there is a better liquidity. However, with excess liquidity, this revenue would be more on a lesser side, I would say.
Okay, sir. Sir, there was one issue which we had raised with CERC with regards to a coal mining cost approval. Could you tell us the status of the same? And is there any impact on our profits regarding it?
Yeah, sure. Although the notification for pricing of coal and lignite was issued by CERC on 13th September 2021, and we were given 2 months period for filing the petition. So we sought extension for the same because the pricing of coal and lignite, especially lignite, will be based on the truing up of our earlier tariff period of 14-19, which has not yet been finalized. So CERC has accepted our request, and they have given us the extension up to 2 months from the date of the order, which will be issued for truing up of 2014-19 period. So, but in the meantime, we are preparing for filing the petition simultaneously, and we are charging provisional price of 477 rupees for NTPL till such time this is finalized. And after file the petition and decision of CERC thereon, we will be able to know the impact of pricing on profitability.
And sir, by when do you expect that order to be given to us?
We are expediting, but since CERC has to decide on the truing up, we can't force them, but at the same time we are requesting them to expedite.
But we are expecting soon now.
Okay, sir. And sir, regarding our dividend policy, so are we looking at maintaining what we have and on the payout as well? So will we be paying any interim and how many payouts are we looking for regarding our dividend? Can you please give some clarification on that?
Yeah, sure. See, DIPAM has already issued the guidelines on the payment of minimum dividend, which is 30% of PAT or 5% of net worth, whichever is higher. So we will be guided by that, but at the same time, depending upon the profitability before the profit levels which we achieve and the capex plan which we are pursuing, we will be deciding on dividend and from time to time, and we will be intimating.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll come back in the queue.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pawan Bansal from LTS. Please go ahead.
Sir, my question is on coal mine. What is our target of production for next year?
Yeah, then Thank you, Pawanji, for your question. Our coal mine this year we have already crossed 5 million ton against our plan of 4 million ton, and next year we are going to ramp up depending upon the enablement. There are 2-3 concerns on which we are working. Based on the resolution of those concerns, we will be able to ramp up the production. Right now we don't have any formed up figure, but we may like to go up to the maximum capacity, a normative level of 20 million ton.
That will take time, no, sir. 20 million ton, so it cannot happen next year.
It all depends on the resolution of some of the issues on which we are working, and we are hopeful that we will be able to resolve within a short period of time.
And sir, my second question is, whether this coal we are using in-house or we are selling in the market?
See, the surplus coal we are, as per the approval accorded by Ministry of Coal for a period of next this year and four more years, to the extent of 67.5 million ton to be sold through auction or any other means. So we are signing the MOU with NTPC primarily. Up to December, we have sold 1.2 million ton of NTPC. Sorry, we have sold 0.67 million ton to NTPC. Yeah, 1.2 million ton we have already sold to NTPC, and e-auction we have already sold 2.2 million ton. And as we progress, we will be resorting to more sale, excess sale.
At e-auction or to NTPC? Because NTPC must be paying Coal India prices only.
NTPC, up to December, we have signed an MOU with a rate of Coal India based price only. But in the time to come, we will try to have better pricing with NTPC.
Because e-auction prices are much higher than the Coal India prices.
As of now, yes, you are right. We are getting better pricing, but at the same time, since these mines are allotted for power generation sector, primarily for end-use plants, and it is only a temporary arrangement that whatever excess coal is available, that we are selling either to NTPC or to through e-auction mode. So depending upon the priority for the country, we resort to selling of coal to NTPC first, and then balance available to other than power sector.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Muchal from HDFC AMC. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Apologies, I joined a bit late, so it could be a repeat. Sir, on the Ghatampur project, any update if you can give on the timeline of commissioning of the plant?
Yeah, sure.
And where are we? Yeah.
As I shared earlier also, that Ghatampur power plant progress is going on. We have achieved more than 77% of the physical progress, and actual capital expenditure is more than 12,700 crore. But you are right that there is a concern that because of the some problems being faced by package contractor GA3, we are trying to resolve the issues, but it has resulted in delay, and we are trying to catch up. As of now, we envisage that the first unit of Ghatampur plant may be likely to be commissioned by October 2022, and other units 4 months thereafter each unit.
Got it. So the total project, I believe, is about 19,000, right, sir? Total project cost?
17,237.80 crore is the sanctioned cost, but it is likely to increase further because of now we are expecting that FGT tender will be finalized, which may result in more cost. So we will get the picture after getting the finalized offer of FGT for the plant.
Got it. Got it. Sure, sir. So we are expecting first unit by October, because I think in terms of spending, we have covered 70% of the total spending, it seems.
Yeah, the financial progress is more than 75%. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. And so, any critical areas that we should, be looking for that this gets resolved? You expect the commissioning then to pick up quickly?
Yeah, package 1 and package 2 are going well. L&T and GE both are performing well. However, this balance of plant package contractor BGR, we have to resolve some of the issues. We are discussing day and night and finalizing and firming up the revised action plan in consultation with their team also, and we are trying to take all other stakeholders on board to take some bold decisions.
Got it. Sure, sir. And so until then, you can sell the coal from your coal mine to in the outside market, because we have surplus capacity until then for coal.
Actually, this Ghatampur project is linked to South Pachwada coal mine. And there also we have just completed the phase 1 exploration only, and it is expected that we may start the mining of coal in South Pachwada by 23-24, and we may start getting coal from there by that time. But in the meantime, we are getting bridge linkage, and we are trying to secure coal for commissioning and beyond for the intermittent period from other places. And Talavera is also one of the options.
Got it. And sir, last question, again, sorry if it could be a repeat. Sir, last time in the call you mentioned that you had some pending finalization of the lignite transfer price, and as such there were some under-recoveries with some of your state discoms. I believe Kerala had filed a petition against the lignite price determination. So, sir, any update on that, and is there any financial impact in our quarterly numbers because of that still?
Yeah, sure. See, the notification of CRC on the pricing of lignite and coal has been issued on 13 September 2021, in which the period allowed for filing the petition was mentioned as 2 months. But because the petition can be filed only after getting the truing up order, therefore we have applied for extension citing this reason, and CRC has acknowledged our reason, and therefore they have allowed us to file the petition 2 months after getting the order of truing up. And this truing up order is expected soon, and after that we will be filing up our petition. At the same time, in the meantime, we are adopting a provisional lignite price of 1,950 rupees, which is taking care of the Kerala order also. And for coal, we are having a provisional transfer price of 477 rupees per ton. And after the filing of petition, we will be adjusting these accordingly.
Got it. And so, because of the provisional lignite price of 1950, is there any under recovery currently which is hitting our numbers? And once the order is passed, we could see what could be the recovery there? I mean, what could be the annual impact be?
1,950 rupees, we don't envisage any under recovery.
Okay, so there is no under recovery as such, even if the order. Okay, perfect. Sure. And sir, one quick last question is on the other income. The other income has declined. I believe this should largely to do with the LPS. The LPS has come down.
Yeah. Yeah, the surcharge income has come down from 838.02 crore to 296.57 crore in the 9 months of the current year as against the corresponding period last year.
Got it. And going forward, you should expect a lower LPS now.
Yeah. And that should give more financial health to the company. At the same time, there will be a corresponding decline in the working capital interest. And in these 9 months, we have already got the dividend from NTPL to the extent of 194.74 crore.
Got it. Sure, sir. I think so. Great. That's all from me. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The next question is a follow-up from the line of Rahul Modi from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So just a couple of more questions. With regard to the amount of money spent in the Talabira coal mines, if you could help with that. And also, sir, what is the cost of production that we are currently booking in the mine, all inclusive? Yeah.
The capital expenditure which has been incurred so far up to December is 918 crore against the sanctioned project cost of 2,401.07 crore. And in the current year, 9 months, we have spent 125.43 crore out of this 918 crore. And debt equity is 70/30. And your next question was that how much
cost of production?
Cost of production. So from Talabira mines, we have got a profit of around 260 crore during the 9 months.
Okay.
Close to 700 cost of production.
Yeah.
So how much, sir? Can you repeat what?
Ultimately, the transfer pricing will all be decided by this CRC. But right now, as far as the cost of production is concerned, it is close to 700 crores.
700 rupees per ton?
700 rupees per ton, sorry.
Okay, this is the cost of production. And what are you billing at the same rate? What are you billing at?
Basically, we have sold the surplus coal, and our auction 1, we sold it at the rate of 998 rupees to the extent of 1.57 lakh ton. And auction 2 in May 2021, we got the price of 998, which we got for 19 lakh ton. And third auction we conducted in November 2021 for 5 lakh ton, for which we got the pricing of 1,834 to 1,884.
Okay, the pricing has increased almost 100% over one option. That's quite encouraging. So, how is just to understand till your plant starts, so what will be the typical business model in this? So obviously there is a particular auction rate that you are selling at, and there is a rate at which you are, there's a cost attached to it. So how do we see in terms of, understanding the numbers better? In terms of revenue cost?
In the long run, we will have to see how our end-use plants requirement is met and they come up, and how we are selling the coal to what extent. And based on the guidelines issued by CRC, we will be filing our petition, and based on the decision made by CRC, we will be able to arrive at the final numbers.
And sir, what about the profit that we are booking currently? That we reduce from the cost, is it?
So I think provisionally we can consider these numbers, because End use requirement is to the extent of 2.5 million ton only during the current year, and against that we have been able to use only 0.67 million ton for NTPL. So there are provisions which give us a room to book some profit also. So depending upon that, we are working on that. These are provisional figures, and we will be able to get a clear picture after filing the petition.
Okay. And sir, what about the progress on the Talabira power plant? Any progress has happened there?
Yeah, I would like Director Power to share his.
Thank you. Am I audible? I'm Shadi, your Director Power.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah. So the Talabira project, right now the tendering process have started. So on an EPC mode, we have floated the tenders, and the March mid, the bid opening dates are fixed. So on the other hand, once the bids are open, we will be seeing further, depending upon some negotiation or some discussions will be there, and it may take some more time to finalize this. Meanwhile, we are in the discussion with the district authorities or the state authorities for land acquisition also. However, the power purchase agreement needs to be firmed up, which we are expecting shortly with beneficiaries like Tangenco and Pondicherry. They have almost confirmed. So this is the timeline now this is the progress on the Talabira project now.
And sir, the FGD orders for our current thermal, sir, for Ghatampur, which you mentioned, so when are we expected to issue the tenders?
Yeah, it is expected to be reissued very shortly. It should not take much time.
Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. As there are no further questions, I now hand the conference over to the management for their closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So we have progressed in these 9 months as compared to the last year, which last year was a setback because of the incidents. But as against the last year, we have made some reasonable growth also. And in the time to come, we are hopeful to achieve our targets, internal targets set for lignite and coal and power generation. And we are hopeful that we will be able to meet the expectations of the stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of ICICI Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. We thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.